Let me get this commercial cracking.
Focus Up Show every Saturday, 9 a.m.
Tap in or tap out. Top of the morning, y'all. How y'all doing out there?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Mr. Floyd X, how was your week?
It was cool, man. You know, just making it through this work week, trying to do what I do. We did the Friday Night Live last night, and you know, we saved a few lives and things like that.
Mr. El Pooh, how was your week?
Wait, hold on. I think me, especially El Pooh and Floyd X, especially El Pooh, we all alive. If boy behind the wheel, rest in peace. All three of you. It would have been y'all two on the show, straight up, man. So look at the Friday Night Live show.
Word.
That's right. Well, I want to welcome y'all out to the Focus Up Show. Appreciate tapping in this morning. It's December 10, 2022. And like always, appreciate y'all continue to share, subscribe, and what's that other one I always leave out?
Like.
Yeah, and press that like button, as well as check out our merchandise department. You know, we got some merchandise y'all might want to tap into. Appreciate y'all support on that. But we gonna kick it off in the news, man. We got old Jerry Jones, you know, in the background.
Before we do that, we still shouting out the first lady.
Oh, yeah, first lady.
Still dealing with some stuff. So you know, we're holding it down. Should be back eventually.
We still send our regards to you, First Lady. Keep your head.
That's right.
But on another note, we're gonna move on to our in the news. We got Jerry Jones, you know, got popped in the picture.
I think it's more than a picture. I think it's more than just a picture. I mean, that was the lifestyle, like what was Irvin said? That was everybody was racist back then. Okay, yeah, we get that. But guess what? He was part of that lifestyle, and guess what? That don't change. Yep. And it ain't changed. And what has he shown that it's changed?
No apology or nothing. No apology, no nothing. Just, hey, it is what it is. You know, that's some crazy shit.
Where's his apology? Where is the apology to the black community? Where is him going to you know, Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton and trying to get some, you know, repent for this?
And I think what made it worse was those black men that came to his defense trying to justify that shit. That was some cold, or not cold, but some ridiculous cooning. In my opinion, that was some straight cooning. Jerry Jones is a good man. He's a good man. I was like, look at these clowns, man.
That's that Stephen.
Michael Irvin, come get my plate. Come get my plate, boy. Get my plate, boy. Yeah. Man. And guess what? That's what it is. Jerry Jones don't even have to say nothing. He got his coons to do the work. He in the back chilling like a pimp. Yeah, you talk to him. He ain't said a word about it since that one interview he did and asked about it during a little conference. Got Michael Irvin, Stephen A. Smith. Who else? Dak Johnson was walking on eggshells.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was all. It was all cooning. All cooning.
Shannon Sharp too. I had heard Shannon Sharp had something to say about that.
I didn't hear his take on it. Shannon Sharp. What did he say?
He was just saying how he was kind of bashing the HBUC colleges, saying how he didn't want to go to one of those colleges. He would rather went to the college he went to.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, all I know is that shit was ridiculous, man. And something has to happen to him. But we all know that ain't nothing gonna happen to him because they say that's the number one as far as the number one top franchise team. So you know. Power, he got a magnitude of power that ain't nobody gonna step to him.
Well,
I mean, this picture came out like over a year ago or something like that. So I mean, it's been around. You know what I'm saying? So he's been Teflon for a bit about it. But I didn't mean to step on what were you about to say, Apu?
I was saying the black delegation didn't give him a checklist of things that he had to do.
I know he was the main one, complaining about kneeling and stuff like that, and how you're not gonna play for me. And of course, he ended up kneeling with everybody. But yeah,
think about it. If you said, okay, the way I heard Dr. Umar did his interview, and he was talking about facts that I didn't hear about, but how they pointed out the school knew that what was going down, some law was passed, and he talking about, oh, I was just being curious. That motherfucker wasn't being curious, man. He wanted to go see, and we're gonna stop these brothers from going into the school, and he was a part of that whole mob. And when we saw the picture, they had a panned out picture, it was a whole bunch of white boys there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn, I didn't see that picture.
Yeah,
it was a mob.
Yeah, we only seen
and Jerry Jones is in the front.
Yeah,
he was up front.
They panned that picture. It was a whole mob of them there.
One of them had a cigar in their mouth. You know what I mean? They looked very intimidating.
It was a cigarette.
You know what I mean? It was a cigarette, but they looked very intimidating, man. Like they wasn't finna go for whatever was going to happen that day. So
hey, back then it didn't take a lot to be intimidating because they could do whatever they want and have no repercussions. So it was a different world. But I mean, I will say this, and it's definitely I do not offer this as a defense to this dude. I'm saying, hey, don't be shocked. Most of the white people of that age were absolutely like that, about that. When you look at those people doing a sit-in or white people spitting on them, hitting on them, doing all this other stuff, I mean, a lot of these cats are still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, Emmett Till, he'd probably still be alive. You know what I'm saying? It's like this wasn't that long ago that a lot of this stuff happened. So, I mean, don't be shocked about it. Most of these old white people that you see or whatever was about that life back then.
That's because they got it from their parents, their grandparents. It was a generational thing.
Yeah, you're taught it. You know what I'm saying? These kids don't come up just naturally out the womb with this stuff. This is a learned behavior. But to a lot of people's defense, or not their defense, I'll say this. I'll give you this. If you was one way before and you're a different way now, I'm going to always respect you for where you're coming from right now. But at least own what you did.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
At least own what you did.
Nah, ain't no changing. Hey, I'm the same nigga I was when I was 14, bro. I'm the same nigga.
You didn't grow?
But I'm not buying that. I think
grow?
Obviously I grow, but I'm still the same cat. I'm still the same guy. I still got the same views, the same way I felt back then. Of course, I'm matured as a man, but those things don't just go away, especially if you're looking at black people as they inferior to you. That don't just go away, brother. That don't go nowhere.
Again, just because you have a learned behavior, it's just like, for example, as black people, I was always growing up with this concept of African booty scratchers and all this stuff. So I had all this stuff taught to me that made me self-hate. But guess what? I don't do that stuff now. Now, I may still have a gut reaction as far as like if a female has longer hair or shorter hair. But again, my intellect still allows me to move beyond that. So, I'm in a different place than I was. I did a lot of racist, terrible, stupid, dumb things when I was a kid too. And you know what? I'm in a completely different place. So I can't testify to that.
Stop that. Racism isn't about bagging on somebody calling them an African booty scratcher, my brother. That ain't racism. That's just clowning. Racism is systemic. You're talking about like withholding somebody from achieving something. Like those two black boys was trying to go to school, and Jerry Jones was the leader of the mob. Well, I'm exaggerating, but he was in the mob, and he was trying to stop some black kids from getting their education. And watch this. I've seen those two black kids. They had an interview. One of them is grown up now, and he said he was walking up the stairs and somebody touched him on the back of his neck, and he said, "I just want to see what a nigger feels like."
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. I think it was Jerry Jones. I'm exaggerating.
So
I'm blaming him for everything.
Okay, so listen. Okay, so you believe so he was stopping them brothers from getting an education. Do you think today he's stopping black people from getting an education?
He's a millionaire. Wait, hold on. This ain't got nothing to do with now.
This is my whole point. I'm just making money off his in a different place now than you were before. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to overtalk you. I'm just trying to establish my point. If you're saying that he took a position, Go ahead, brother.
I think Jerry Jones is still racist. I think he's shown that throughout the years. He ain't never had a black coach. He said none of my players will kneel. You know what I'm saying? He letting it be known where he stand. And what was Colin Kaepernick just like over police brutality? What has he said and spoken about on police brutality? Nothing. He don't care.
Okay.
He don't care about. Come on now.
So you're talking about, again, you think what you think. I don't care what a person think. They can think that a black person is whatever, but it's how you come. It's how you respect. It's how you, because again, if this is a learned behavior, if this is something that you taught, if this is something that you grow up with, you can actually get to a place where you go, look, this is my gut reaction because this is what I'm taught. But that's what separates us from the wild animals. We're not just driven by our instinct. We're just not a slave to our instinct for the rest of our lives. We can actually evolve into greater thinking and greater perspective and broader perspective. I'm just telling you, when I talk about being racist as young, I'm talking about me being racist to other races. I'm not talking about to me. I'm talking about being discriminatory, like down talking, like in a very bad way. I mean, you know how it is growing up in black and brown neighborhoods, and it's not always good and great between black and brown. So I'm just saying.
But I agree with you on this one. Like, you do have a point that people do change and evolve and stuff. But guess what, my brother? I'm no mind reader, and you ain't either. I think Jerry Jones the same racist bastard he was back then. And guess what? You can't tell me he ain't, because we don't really know. All I could go by is what I've been seeing and then heard, and I seen his face in that picture, and he demonstrated through the years.
I'm not telling you what anybody think. I'm not telling you that someone's not a racist. I never know what anybody. You'll never hear me say that someone is not a racist because I don't know what the next person is.
His actions show that he's not really a fan of black people unless they could play some good football for him. His actions have shown that.
Irvin, come get my tea, boy.
Him just not saying nothing speaks volumes.
Word.
Hey, the talk that he talks, I would say it lines up with exactly with what you said. I mean, his whole position about the kneeling, this whole concept about when the national anthem and all of this stuff. I mean, look, I will never, ever, ever cover my heart, bow my head or do any of this stuff to the I mean, I stopped that in junior high for like Christian reasons. Mm-hmm. When it became to just black consciousness reasons, I mean, that just blew it out the water. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I know that flag was never meant for me. That's an idol. I don't F's with that. Okay. But that is something that they just can't understand this. They struggle with this stuff. Again, America, there's America the people, there's America the actuality, and there's America the ideal. And that ideal we was never a part of, and it was never for us.
Hey, real quick, I want to we supposed to have two special guests today. One of them just popped in, so we're going to bring him on the show and hear his take on this whole situation.
Shaquille O'Neal, bring my chicken, sir, boy.
Well, welcome to the show, brother Maurice, Gangster Reese. How you doing this morning, brother?
I'm good. What's happening with you?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
San Jose, what up, baby boy? What's up, Gangster Reese?
Sounds out from East San Jose.
Yeah.
So, hey, brother, we speaking on Jerry Jones right now. What's your take on the Dallas Cowboys owner?
I think he should be penalized. He was doing some real Caucasian activities back then, and I know a lot of Caucasians and white people and Jewish people want to try to excuse that, but Emmett Till was not excused when he met his untimely death from some cracker white woman that's still alive today. So I think Jerry Jones needs to receive the brunt of the foundational Black American force here in the wilderness of North America.
FBA.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, you need a horn for that Caucasian activities. You will hear that on the show.
Caucasian is the father of Caucasian activities. Okay. All right.
We gonna keep it moving, y'all. We got a subject that happened a couple weeks ago. Officer traveled, catfished a young girl, and killed her, kidnapped her, and he was a certified police officer. Cool thing about that situation
No, wait, he
They
was a
said they
police
missed.
officer.
They said they missed the warning signs.
Wait, is this the FedEx driver?
No, this is not the FedEx driver. He's talking
No.
about the
Oh,
catfish.
my bad. Yeah, we go speak on the FedEx driver, huh?
Wait, no, let's go. Where we at? I don't. Go ahead.
We can come back to the FedEx driver. I mean, you brought up this story, but I mean, we're gonna deal with both of them: the FedEx driver and the catfish situation.
Yeah.
So so he's already talking about the catfish situation. Yeah.
Okay, I remember that one. When
Yeah,
he killed the parents.
Yeah.
He killed the two
he's
parents.
He was like 30-something, whatever. Yeah, pretending to be like a teenager, and then basically kidnapped this female and kills the family. And I mean, these kids need to stay off the internet. If you don't got the discipline, you know what I'm saying? We watch all these. I shouldn't say we. I don't. But for those that be watching all these sort of like romantic movies or read these romantic novels, we're thinking you're just gonna find somebody you don't know and whatever, and think everything's gonna be great. Look. If you meet them on the internet, they're probably not who they pretending to be. If you didn't grow up, if they're not part of your network, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know somebody that knows them, you probably don't know anything about them. And it's just way too dangerous. You know, these youngsters, man. Go ahead, brother. What you got to say?
I hear what you're saying. I think that the internet and meeting people on the internet is something that is that we must prioritize and really supervise when our young people that don't know the power of the internet are involved. But making a blanket statement that you don't know what you get into. I'm pretty sure. I know for sure. Jaywalk has. I'm pretty sure. So most of y'all has knocked something down from the internet before.
So it doesn't mean that they was what they presented them to be.
You know what I mean? Some of y'all knocked some bras down from the internet, and now so let's not talk internet safety when you was over there in them inboxes. That's all I want to say right there.
But we grown.
Hey, Gangster Reese, this is what I gotta say.
That's why I said you said grown.
I ain't got no face.
I understand the young people that I'm talking about. Shit. It is what it is. That's it.
True. Yeah. But it's one thing to discern things when you're an adult. But we try to keep these, it's about these youngsters. They don't understand it. They can't understand it. Even if you explain it, they won't really catch the whole concept because you have to mature into that, that level of discernment. You have to. A teenager ain't gonna be able to resist the internet like an adult and be able to, navigate it like an adult. It's just that simple. But it is what it is. So just look out for your kids and try to educate them and watch out what they're doing on the internet if you can.
I mean, adults can barely navigate the internet. They get catfished all the time. So it's kind of
adults
hard.
get catfished too.
To decipher who you're communicating with on the other end.
Yeah.
So you got the kids thinking they know what they're doing, and this is what's happening.
Exactly.
And especially like an older mind, of course you got the game to talk to a little kid and get them to manipulate them and have them give their address and things of that nature. So it's kind of easy work, and that's where it's so dangerous for an adult to be on the internet, talk to a little kid. That's why it is just kind of wide open, because I could pretend to be I'm a 15-year-old kid. Like, hey, what's your address? I'm in this crapping. It's a grown ass man that comes to the door and then end up coming double backing and killing the parents. And man, that was wow. That was Pandora's box she opened just clicking on the internet.
And clearly, she never saw him because obviously he wasn't no teenager.
Man, facts.
It's crazy, man.
But,
then we talk about moving. That FedEx.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving, y'all, with the this FedEx killer.
Did y'all heard the story of what happened, the details of that mess, man?
Yeah, actually.
Go ahead.
So
speak on it.
Yeah, so
what you talking about, the FedEx driver?
Yeah, the FedEx driver.
Yeah.
So this dude was delivering a package for this girl, Christmas gift, and he accidentally hit her.
Oh man.
So he didn't do, she wasn't like really, really hurt, but he was like worried about, getting in trouble. And he kind of just panicked and just grabbed her and stuck her in the van.
Because she said she's going to tell her daddy.
Yeah, she said she's going to tell her daddy. So then he tried to, I think they said he tried to snap her neck, but it failed. So then he just strangled her, and then and then just dumped her body. So this dude literally, he killed her because he bumped into her, and he was worried about the fallout from bumping in her, and he killed her.
That's
Caucasian activities.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, and he admitted it.
Yep. That was
But I'm not gonna. He ain't getting off that light. See, that's what they do with the Caucasians. It's like, oh, he made a mistake. He didn't want to lose his job. Nah, that's depravity. That's some lunatic craziness. You got some deeper issues with that. Hold on, bro.
He ain't getting a free pass for killing that little girl. You trust me. When white people will protect little white girls from white people.
Man, it's crazy, man. Yep.
And this fool had to go take a shit.
He just bounced, huh?
He's supposed to have his props near.
Yeah, we gonna speak on Herschel Walker right quick.
Sorry. Wait a second. So he's about to say, you have something else to say? Here it comes. He got something.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, fellas. Sorry.
I'm calling Earl.
That Friday Night Live do it to you. That Friday Night Live, huh?
But
I learned my lesson.
Herschel Walker lost the race, and
If I was a Christian, I'd be like, I would say, won't he do it? I know, brother Reese got something to say on the Herschel Walker. What's your piece on the Herschel Walker, brother? You muted,
Mike.
Yeah, you muted.
You know what? I seen some things on Herschel Walker, man. I have no comment on that dude, bro.
Okay.
I would be disrespecting myself to even allow his name to be uttered from my lips. But I did want to say this though. I heard the brother say, we ain't letting that white man get away from that murder, whatever he did, the FedEx guy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Given the history of thank you. Given the history of this country, we've seen over and over again these Caucasians do atrocious things and get off.
Real talk.
So when will we as a people stop saying this time it's going to be better? You might as well be on the Edmonton Bridge marching with the Negroes back then. If you keep on with this hope and whatnot, that's why we got to do something for ourselves. Automatically in the media, they're going to say he had a troubled childhood. He was off a little bit. They're gonna make him seem like he was a child when they take our children and make him seem like they grown men. They made Tamir Rice seem like he was a grown ass man with a gun.
Right.
So we need to stop thinking like that, man. And you got to call the devil out for who he is and know who he is. Don't never. That's the saying in the why we can't fathom the depth of evil of the devil. So that I just want to say that. But Herschel Walker, I don't give a fuck about. All right.
That was a comment with that was a no comment with a lot of comment.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna keep it.
Wait, we ain't done. Wait, hold on. This walk, baby. This walk, baby. Herschel Walker. Watch out. We gangster reach.
There we go.
Hey, I'm riding with Herschel Walker, baby. Straight up. That's my nigga, real nigga. Yeah, nigga. Look, here's the thing with Herschel Walker. He's a real person, and he did the most famous thing that I appreciate. He gave the chick $700 for an abortion, and then he sent her a get well letter. Come on, that's a nice guy. Yeah, he should be senator of Georgia just for that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no? See, that's why he shouldn't be representing black people. The fact that they even put him up there as a representative of black people is an insult.
He's not a representative of black people, is he?
No, that's what they did. That's the only reason why that fool was up there. He that fool had no chance of winning, and they just felt
that's not true.
I disagree with that. He did have a chance.
They bring out the big gun. They bring out Obama for that ass, bro.
He had a chance. I mean, he had a theoretical chance, but he wasn't going to win over black people, or I should say, he wasn't going to win on the merits. You know, he wasn't a person that wasn't going to rally them. You didn't see the other senators really pressing his cause. In fact, even Trump wasn't campaigning down the stretch at the end for him because they realized that this was kind of like a bad face, to be our face on their side. I want to very distinguish that that's their side or whatever. I'm not really on either of those people's side, but the fact of the matter is they felt like the fact that they chose him, it suggested they felt like any black face would do.
Wait a minute, they know they. Trump chose him.
Yeah, well, they rolled with it, but yeah, it's exactly. This was Trump's L, and he ran from it when he saw that L was coming.
Okay, I was looking at Tariq Nasheed the other day, and he had a question, and I'm like, yeah, what's the big uproar, and why are black people celebrating across the nation because Herschel Walker lost? What is Warnock gonna do? And he was really asking people, call in and tell me what is Warnock, what is going to be the difference with Warnock that now that he's in there?
Okay, if you want me to present their argument is it's a big difference because now that one dude who was holding people hostage all the time, with Joe Manchin or whatever, now all of his power, poof. They don't need to kiss his ass because now they got a majority. They don't have to rely on just the Kamala tiebreaker or something like that. I mean, now they can actually do things without depending on that dude play hating from the sidelines. That would be their position. So that's what they're celebrating. It's not an issue of celebrating about a black man lost because a black man won. It's about none of that stuff. It's about the fact that they can push through their agenda without kissing, Manchin's ring like they've been doing, the last.
Hey, let me interrupt you real quick. We got our second special guest has entered the building, and this is Daunte Burksizm, our resident sports commentator. We're gonna bring him on the show and see what he has to say about Mr. Herschel Walker. Let's bring him in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Daunte Burksizm.
Show, brother.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so right now we're speaking on Herschel Walker. He lost the race, and we wanted to get your opinion on Mr. Herschel Walker.
I hope I never have to speak about Herschel Walker ever again in life.
Okay, now Mr. Walk says he's appreciate him and he likes the guy. Would you want to explain your position again, Mr. Walk? Or
no. Let's hear what the brother got to say.
Okay,
I gave my position. I like him. He'll beat you up. That's why
He likes him because he's an MMA fighter. He's an absolute specimen. You know what I'm saying? But
pause. Say pause. Now go ahead, Mr. Frank. Let's hear.
He's very stupid, and he's very proudfully ignorant about his stupidity. I think he represents everything that black people, black men have been fighting to reverse that stereotype. This is a guy that has children at random, doesn't raise his kids, lied about his kids, lied about his life, said he was the valedictorian at his high school. He wasn't. Said he worked as a police officer. He didn't work as a police officer. Said he was with the FBI. He wasn't with the FBI. Just the worst example of a black man, but also it shows just how disrespectful the Republican Party is when it concerns black men, because they thought, hey, we need to get a black guy to beat this black guy. Well, what kind of black guy do you need? Anyone will do.
Yep.
That is my point.
That's my point. Did y'all see the when he was doing like an interview? They couldn't even trust him to do an interview by himself. They had a white dude on this side, white dude on that side.
Oh, when they had Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder with him, trying to, and he still messed it up. Talking about
everybody nudging him.
He still messed it up. They like, man, don't say the wrong thing. We right here. We know you're gonna say something stupid, but we're gonna make sure you don't. And he still messed it up.
The guy pulled out a fake police badge during a Senate debate. And the moderator had to talk to him like he was 5 years old. Mr. Walker, Mr. Walker,
you know the rules.
You do know the rules, and that is a prop.
Man,
well, it's not a prop because it's really real. I was really on the police department.
I got 3 words: CTE.
Exactly. CME beat CTE on Tuesday. That's what that was.
Yeah, my boy got brain damage.
One of the two. Whatever.
We ain't seen the last of Herschel Walker. This is his first run. He coming back. He coming back with a vengeance. Just like Donald Trump. When he first came, it was like they thought it was a joke. Herschel Walker, believe it or not, look how close he came. He got momentum, baby. He got momentum. But here's the thing. I'm like this. Either one of them, I don't feel it's gonna make a difference whatsoever. Mr. Nice Guy was talking about it's going to make a difference because of the vote. Now they're going to take what's on the agenda for black people? What's on the agenda for black folks? What's on the agenda for black people?
Hey, neither one of them is going to be right. Well, Herschel Walker damn sure wasn't going to write no bill, but Raphael Warnock. Maybe. The difference between the two now is, Kirsten Sinema just said that she's not a Democrat anymore and she's changing to be an independent. It removes either Sinema or Joe Manchin from being the one person who can mess up a bill being passed through if you need the majority now. But outside of that, I mean, Raphael Warnock he's a Democrat, but he's a centrist. So I can't say that I'm extremely happy about him being a senator, but I'm glad it's not Herschel Walker.
Word.
Yeah, that would have been an embarrassment, man.
Yeah,
that really would have been an embarrassment.
We've been embarrassed before. Come on, knock it off. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, he was such a great governor. Jesse Ventura was governor. Come on, man. It's a lot of
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Has graduated from the university. He has built a multi-million-dollar business because Arnold Schwarzenegger is a big-time real estate investor. He's just not a movie actor. He's a big-time real estate investor that owns several major malls across the United States of America. So he's not as dumb as he sounds. He's a lightweight and intelligent kind of dude because he runs businesses. Jesse Ventura, Navy SEAL. You can't be a Navy SEAL and be a moron. Absolutely impossible to do.
Hey, real quick, we got a message from the brother that's based out of Atlanta. He says Warnock has already passed medical bills. So I think that's the answer, Jay Walk. What he gonna do? He already did something.
He ain't gonna do nothing.
Well, I mean, they all. I'm talking about.
Wait, hold on. Let me say one thing.
Did he write the bill that he passed? Did he write it?
He's a preacher.
Did he write the bill?
Warnock is a preacher, so you know about preachers. They get more pussy than anybody. That's Warnock, nigga.
Okay.
I'm not mad at him if he does. God said, "Be fruitful and multiply." So he's following God's instructions. Or at least he's trying.
But like I said, this all reminds me of Kill Bill had a really good take on Superman. He says like Superman, we think of that Superman is disguised and Clark Kent is a person. He says, but the reality is that Superman, the clothes that he's wearing is the clothes that he came with. So this is his sort of like natural being. He said, in fact, that Clark Kent is the disguise. And the fact that he makes Clark Kent like a bumbling kind of a moron. He's saying that really that's his take on humanity, because that's what he has to look like to pass it. So I'm just saying that, you know, that's the situation with it. That's what the Republicans think that, you know, black people are. They think that that's Herschel Walker. It was an insult to put him up there.
Let me ask. Go ahead.
Watch Fox News a little bit when they had Bill O'Reilly on there. The primary issue that Bill O'Reilly would discuss when it relates to the black community is children being born out of wedlock. And I hate to disagree with Bill O'Reilly, but that is one of the prominent issues within our community is you cannot have 80% of your children born without a father in the house and expect to produce decent, upstanding, law-abiding citizens. Not going to happen.
We got another comment from brother from LeBrand Trucking. If you get diabetes, thank Warnock for the affordable meds, and that's gonna tie into our.
That's right. That's gonna tie into another topic.
That's another upcoming topic. That's gonna tie in. We got Gangsta Reese got something to say. Go ahead, brother.
The man low
question. I had a quick question for some of the brothers. I'm listening. I'm at work, but I'm listening to the dialogue, the deliberative dialogue that is going on between my people. I wanted to say this. To the brother, one of the brothers kept on bringing up the Republican and Democratic parties and saying how we're embarrassed and whatnot. How many brothers on here identify as Democrat or Republican? You know, are you speaking from a place in your heart that you feel that you're a Democrat, that you feel that you're a citizen of the United States? Are you speaking from that, and this is why you're so upset? Do you believe in the voting system? Is it a sham, or does it actually make a difference to vote? Also, one of the brothers said that he was an embarrassment. So these little mumble rappers that's doing all kind of weird shit, that's not embarrassing. But this dude that's running for office, too. even though he's not the most intelligent brother, you know, he's attempting to do something productive. And my last question is, do we shame our brothers in public in front of Caucasians, or do we keep that in-house amongst us? That's it.
We need to keep that in-house amongst us.
Speak on it, El Pooh. Speak on it.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's true. I mean, we get out here and debate in front of these white boys, and it's just as bad as cooning. It's the same thing. When we get out here down rating our peoples, it's like a show for these white peoples.
So I want to ask you. So when are we cooning when we down in Herschel Walker?
No, you're not.
Okay,
but we keep it in the house right now because this is the Focus Up Network, and I'm pretty sure it's
and we have to distinguish between Herschel Walker and mumble rappers. Mm-hmm. Your average mumble rapper can't be older than 25, maybe 28 years old. Herschel Walker is 60 years old.
Okay,
that's a huge difference in terms of maturity and your manhood. You got three or four white women.
I disagree, goddammit. We just got you talking about ages with Jerry Jones and Emmett Till, but now it's an age thing. Do they have a platform in front of black people? Are they the representatives of black people? To middle America, those mumble rappers are what black people are to everybody.
Yeah, wait, but check this out. My generation,
I would disagree.
But my generation, we don't sit there and prop up the mumble rappers.
How do you disagree if you're not a preteen white boy in Idaho?
Because
I don't speak for a white boy in Idaho. I'm just saying it as a hip hopper, as a
intelligence
from our culture. We don't roll with a lot of stuff that the youngsters roll with. So I mean, it's a big difference. We would say that that's embarrassing if that's supposed to be hip hop. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still youngsters making real good stuff. But you know, a lot of the mainstream stuff is like an insult to our culture and our music. So you know what I'm saying? We don't apologize for them. We call
No,
them.
if you grew up listening to Nas and Ice Cube and you listen to this stuff today, you're gonna be insulted because you're gonna be like, man, the quality in the level of music lyrically has dropped significantly. No, how many? If you can count on your hand the number of mainstream rappers that have a social message in their music, that is, and compare that to the 90s when I was growing up, like, you would be really disappointed that, like, man, you guys are standing on the shoulders. I just saw the other day, maybe a week ago, 21 Savage said that Nas is irrelevant.
Yep. And now he made that statement, but then a week later they did a song together. So
right, because Nas is an adult man. If it was Tupac
he's
and Biggie,
entitled to his opinion.
If it was Tupac and Biggie, they're shooting at each other. Nas
He's
is
entitled to
47.
his opinion.
Those guys are 25. So a 25-year-old man, you're not going to expect the same action or response out of a 47-year-old man that you would out of a 25-year-old man, because the 47-year-old man has a lot more life experience and understands that somebody's really young, inexperienced, and full of testosterone.
Hey, I want to challenge Brother Maurice on what he's saying, that he's entitled to his opinion, because the brother spoke negative of someone who was a pretty much a legend in hip hop. Is that not the same as talking bad about Herschel Walker or the so-called what was called cooning, in the sense of being disrespectful towards another black man in public?
I don't think he heard you.
You didn't hear me, brother Gangsta Reese?
Give me 1 minute.
All right.
Maybe he can't talk.
Oh, and if I missed Jerry Jones is a liar.
Go ahead and speak on it. You got time. Go ahead and speak on Jerry Jones. What's your take on it?
Wait. You talking about Jerry Jones? Hold on real quick. Deion, get my plate, boy. Go ahead.
Jerry Jones is a liar. And his football coach told the entire football team, stay your ass away from in front of that school tomorrow morning, because it's going to be trouble and it could be bloodshed, and I don't want any of you, and he used this specific term, knotheads, to be involved with any of it. So when Jerry Jones says that he was curious, he's a damn liar. His football coach told him not to be there, and he took his ass there. So the reason why the people were in front of that school was not because they were curious as to what was going on.
That's a big piece of the puzzle right there. That's a big piece of the puzzle right there.
And 5 days earlier, at a different school.
At a different school.
Yeah. So the buzz was going around.
Yes. So he was very well aware of what could happen. He was told not to go there, and he went anyways. Now, was he curious to see how many of these niggas they was gonna hit upside the head and start? Man. That was the curiosity. It wasn't that he didn't know any better. And then what changed in his life from that age when he was 14, 15 to being an 80-year-old man now? What type of
drastic change? Yeah.
What happened in his life? Did he get saved by a black kid in a black neighborhood when 4 or 5 black dudes was whipping his ass and a black dude saved him from losing his life? What traumatic incident in his life caused him to change and not have those viewpoints about black people? Because if you are born into a racist household, you are taught racism, unless something dynamic changes. This is like 1950, what was it, 50, 57, 50, 59? What would change? What would change to change his entire perspective on black people? Because that's what generally has to happen to someone who has those kinds of perspective and viewpoints. You got to have like a paradigm shift in your thinking and he can never explain what happened. Nor have you ever heard him. He has never apologized.
He ain't.
No, of course not. But they wanted Kyrie to apologize for the Holocaust and Hitler and the capturing of the Jews and saying that the Jews weren't the Jewish people aren't the original Jews, and they want him to apologize for everything that happened to Jewish people. Jerry Jones was at one of the most historic moments in the history of civil rights, and he can just get by saying, "Yeah, sure, I'm glad that things are different now."
And Kyrie did apologize. Kyrie did apologize. Kyrie, bring me some goat milk, boy.
But Brother Reese, Gangsta Reese, you had something to say? You want to speak on?
Yeah, I was listening to the brother. He was saying the brother. What's his name?
Daunte.
Daunte.
Yes, sir.
Talking about how a 47-year-old man, views the world differently than a 22-year-old mumble rapper. When I spoke on the examples of black people to the masses, and the influence that they wield, some of those 20-something-year-old, 28-year-old mumble rappers got a following of 12 million people. So if they put on a specific T-shirt, if they say, go watch the Focus Up show overnight, you'll have millions of new listeners and followers because of the influence. And then for the brother, and this is not being hostile to you, sir, in no ways at all.
I never take it that way. I never take it that way.
For the brother to say that, well, 47, well, we have a such thing in not only our community, but in all communities as an old fool. You can be a fool and be 50, 60 years old. You don't have to have your life experience, and the tenure that you've had on this earth does not make you wise, and it does not bring wisdom to you. We can see that in everyday walks of life, locally, wherever we're at. So I think, and then when the brother said about he disrespected Nas, hip hop is different things to different people. What you have a whole generation now that say Drake is the best rapper that ever lived, but people that are in different generations will say something different. You know what I mean? So we got to speak factual. We got to rise above emotion and speak factual. But on who's the best rapper and who's the icon, that's always going to be subject to opinion. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this. The whole point of when we're talking about mumble rappers, you're talking about mumble rappers being a bad representation. And I'm just saying that, look, there's no question that they got sway, they got influence. All of these people that are well known, well followed, they got sway and influence. Anybody that's got great exposure has got influence. That's not the issue. The issue is, were they the best representative of black people? And again, I'm not trying to be the black representative people police. I'm just saying that, whether they're mumble rappers, people from my generation, we're not heaping praise on mumble rappers. We're not saying that that's a great representation of hip hop.
So are you heaping praise on Herschel Walker?
No, I'm definitely not heaping
well, then
praise
keep that
on
same
Herschel
energy then, brother. That's all I'm
saying. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm not heaping. I'm doing the opposite.
No.
Who's been the hardest on Herschel Walker here? I mean, we can go back an episode.
Probably me. I just came to the party tardy. But no, we cannot not have a level of distinction between a 60-year-old man and some 25-year-old young men. Like, they're not in the same bunch. We don't look at our entertainers. At least we should not look at our entertainers. I think Malcolm X said this. Our entertainers are propped up and used as spokespeople for our community when no one else has singers, rappers, comedians, poets, whomever, as spokespeople for their community. Don't happen in the Jewish community. It don't happen in the Asian community or the Latino community. Mumble rappers are entertainers. And we cannot confuse their popularity with their with intelligence
or leadership.
Or leadership. Jay-Z is a billionaire. I don't care what Jay-Z has to say about reparations.
Facts.
I really don't. I mean, I'm hoping that it's it's in the same perspective as me. But I don't care what what Jay-Z or what LeBron James has to say about reparations. They're entertainers. Now you say Dr. Claude Anderson or Boyce Watkins or Cornel West, someone who or people that are actually in that field that can say, hey, this is the economic impact that not being able to own land for 400 years has had on the descendants of the African slave. Now we talking, but entertainers, we have to understand that the majority of them aren't the most educated people in the world. They're not the most intellectual people in the world, and they're not the most articulate people in the world. And the reason why they're given the platform to speak on such issues is because they don't want people to hear a Boyce Watkins, a Dr. Cornel West, etc. So they put these guys in front of us that are basically parrots and puppets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all truth right there. And so with that being said, stop giving so much praise to Kanye. That's all I got to say.
He's an entertainer, man. Like
Exactly.
these dudes did not matriculate out of some major university. They weren't taught by some major scholar. We just confuse because the platforms that they have, and we respect the fact that they're talented, and white people know that they have an influence on younger people with that they want to get to vote. But at some point in time, I would hope that as adult men, we understand that they're entertainers.
Okay.
They're not, who would confuse Sidney Poitier for Malcolm X?
Why is it so easy to put these entertainers in front of us and have them running for office, and Kanye could sit there and say, I'm running for president in 2024. Why is it so easy for them to switch those lanes on us like that, and we don't have we don't give a big pushback?
Because it's notoriety. The thing about it is the hardest thing when you're trying to vote or get, promote yourself, these people, they're already got a foot in the door. You really don't have to promote these people. They have already a big presence. But that's why, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, it was almost a slam dunk that he was going to win, just because, whether you knew what his politics were. There's a lot of people that just don't think about anything. It doesn't matter if it's person A or person B, but this guy, so that's the guy you vote for if you care to vote.
Right.
What's funny with you saying that, Mr. Nice Guy? Eddie Murphy had a movie like that, The Distinguished Gentleman.
Name recognition. That's what it was.
That had the same name.
Vote for Jack Johnson, the name you know.
Yeah, exactly. What Jack Johnson, the name you know. Right. And that's what it is. Views and likes, baby. It's views and likes. Views and likes. Hey,
they spend so much money on these things now.
What y'all say? Are y'all speaking at the same time? What y'all say?
I just said that's why they spend so much money on these things, on these campaigns now.
Okay.
Yeah. For the Focus Up Show, hit the views and likes and subscribe to the show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm ready for president too.
All right. Hey, where we at, Mr. JC? Where we at?
All right, we're gonna keep it pushing, y'all. We got Deion Sanders. First topic of the day. Some say he sold out. Some say he did it.
Was it for the money?
Deion, come here, boy.
I heard there was a lot of inside politics going on.
It was. I
heard he was bumping heads of the school, and there was a lot of roadblocks being put in front of him, to let him know this is how far you're going to go.
So our show title was Deion Sanders, sell out or not? So that's the question on the floor. Real quick before we get this debate going, I would like to hear from everybody if they consider him to be a sellout or not. Let's start with our guest, Mr. Daunte. Just we're gonna speak on it, but I just want to hear: is he a sellout or not?
He sold out.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, he sold out.
Mr. JC.
I say no.
Okay. Mr. Walt.
Hell no, Deion Sanders did not sell out. No.
Mr. El Poo.
Yeah, he did, but it's a good thing.
Okay. I'm gonna say
What?
no. I'm gonna say no, and then Brother Gangster Reese. Sell out or not?
The mad look. What up, baby?
You're
My
muted.
nigga pissed for no reason. Go ahead.
No, there's a reason.
Hell no, he didn't sell out.
All
right. There we
Negroes
go.
always want some free shit.
That man,
Niggas
right.
always
Yeah,
want free
step up.
shit, man.
All right, let's
Niggas
get
always
into
want
it.
to see another brother aspire to do greater things, man. That's crazy.
Let's get into it and lay out your. If y'all calling him a sellout, I want to hear y'all argument that he a sellout. Who want to speak first?
Wait. You said did he sell out or is he a sellout? That's a different question.
Did
So I
he?
answered did he sell out. I'm not
okay.
calling him
You
a
said
sellout.
yeah. Okay,
point.
why?
Good
Come on.
point.
Get off the fence.
Good point.
Yes, we want to hear it.
Good point.
You
Well,
want
go
me to
ahead, speak on it. Speak on it.
Again, I have a problem with this term. I don't really understand the sellout thing because it's like, again, I have a job, and if someone offers me twice the money, guess what? I'm gonna sell them out. I feel like every person who works for a team, who you about this team, you're riding this team, you're promoting this team, and if someone gives you more money to go somewhere else, and you go somewhere else because of the money, guess what? By definition, you're selling out. I don't think that makes you a bad person. I mean, I think it's different if you're selling out your people. Like, for example, okay, you guys are hiding because someone's coming to kill all you guys, and they tell you, hey, I'll take care of you. If you point all them people out, to me, that's selling out, and that's definitely selling out wrong. That's a difference. But I mean, again, like I said, I don't understand. Again, he went from one job to the next job, but when I understand the fact that he was really selling a dream about the HBCUs, you know what I'm saying? He's talking about bringing them up, and he did a lot of good things for him. But once he left, I mean, I think that progress is probably going to fall apart. So again, I don't think it makes it a bad person, but I mean, he put himself before the HBCU, and guess what? I don't think he had to put the HBCU. But you know what? The HBCU is going to suffer because of it.
Okay.
Well, we got a comment. La Brea Trucking said, "We all want to raise. You would have took it too. What are you doing for black folks?"
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Wait, hold on. I don't think it was. I don't think he sold out whatsoever in any type of way, shape, or form. When I was watching First Take when he first took this job like 4 years ago, it was always talks of him going to a prestigious college and one day eventually coaching in the NFL. That was the talk. Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Wait, hold on. Stephen, bring my slippers, boy. Stephen A. Stephen A. They was all talking about that he was eventually going to move on to something else. This team that he went to, they was like 4 wins or 2 wins for the season when he started. The next season, it was 5 wins. Now they undefeated. And guess what? Deion Sanders had an interview yesterday where he said he had the Jackson State hat on. He was like, people talking like I already left. I'm still here. We got one more game to go, baby. Job ain't done yet.
Okay.
He ain't sell out.
Mr. Burke, Mr. Daunte, you want to speak on it, brother?
Oh. So you have to look at this in context, and you can't look at it from a micro lens. You have to look at it from a macro lens. And this is old. This is a very old bad habit that we as black people have. We are always transactional. Everything can be reduced down to money. Not white folks didn't catch all of those Africans and put them on ships to get to America. A lot of them were caught by other Africans and sold to Europeans to get on that ship and come here as a transaction. We are in the position that we are in right now because of things being so transactional amongst only black people. And Deion is the most recent example. Bob Johnson was an example when he sold BET. When you grow up as a black person in this country, you have to understand your level of importance to your community, and you have to have some level of education in practicing group economics. That's what we do not do. The University of Colorado in Boulder has a $2 billion endowment. Jackson State has a $60 million endowment. So just based on the numbers alone, you tell me, where was Deion Sanders and that football team's success most needed? In making the University of Colorado more money, or in highlighting and improving the condition of not only Jackson State, but historically black colleges as well? Because Deion, unlike most people, Deion's extremely rare. He's a lightning rod.
Guess who cut the budget for the HBCUs? President Joe Biden. Recently, he cut the budget for all HBCUs. HBCUs are tanking and sinking right now. Deion Sanders brought life to HBCUs. He recruited some major players. He brought life for Deion Sanders' coaching career, is what he did. You got so we will not be talking about Jackson State history of what happened. Deion Sanders wanted to be the head coach at Florida State. Deion Sanders did not have a bachelor's degree. A HBCU in Florida gave Deion the bachelor's degree that he would need in order to meet the minimum requirements to be considered a football coach at the Division I, whether FCS or FBS level. HBCU gave him that. So then what irritated me the most is in his interviews, he used, God called me here. Okay, so God called you to Jackson State, and you're going to turn Jackson State around, and you're going to, which he did. You're doing this for the culture. So in 3 years, he has improved that program. He donated half of his salary. I'm not mad at Deion for what he did, because there was some issues going on with Deion was supposed to get, I believe it was 50% of the ticket sales after 30,000 tickets were sold. Anything above that the university and Deion was split 50-50. That wasn't necessarily for Deion. That was for Deion's assistants, who were also taking a serious pay cut to come there and coach.
So he made a sacrifice to do that job.
So in other words, the money got funny. The money got funny. Ain't that something that we as black folks are known for? I know as a comedian, when you do a show for a promoter and he black and he come up to you with like, man, let me holler at you for a minute. We all know what that is.
So who was being funny with the money, the HBCU or Deion Sanders? Who was
the HBCU? He had an agreement. He had an agreement where he was going to receive 50% of the proceeds after the university had sold 30,000 tickets to the football games. So if there's 50,000 people in those stands, and there should be a split of the 20,000 tickets between 30,000 and 50,000, and Deion wasn't seeing that money. And again, it's not like Deion needed the money. His assistants were taking the pay cut, and these are top level guys.
So he was justified in leaving there.
I'll say this, man.
That's a yes.
10 years after Jackie Robinson leaves the Negro Leagues to go play for the Brooklyn Dodgers, we do not have a Negro League anymore.
Right, let's get
since then,
let's get Gay 3 in real quick.
Let me finish this. And since then, we have been playing this game of we are the product on the field that is responsible for the money that's being generated, but we're not in control of the product or the money.
Okay.
Interesting point.
And water is wet.
What's your
The
take
Mad
on
Loke.
it, Brother Reese? The Mad Loke.
He's muted.
You on mute.
I heard a brother say the other day on his webcast that black people beg for what they need and pay for what they want.
Damn.
Damn.
So
Damn.
so for any
Damn,
Negroes,
that hurt, bro.
any Negroes, and I'm not being harsh to anybody, any Negroes that take issue with a black man trying to better himself after he done gave half his salary, after he done paid for brand new facilities, after he brought endorsement deals and did all this stuff, and they still didn't have in their right mind the board of trustees, the board of directors at Jackson State to say, we need to do what we can to move some money around to secure this brother in his position here. They did not do that. So don't get mad. He coming out of his pocket for a whole lot of shit and going through a lot of stuff. I'm gonna share with you the little webcast I seen on that.
So the money was his God, in other words, because he said that God sent him to Jackson State. So when he leaves to go to Colorado,
so now you're playing,
God sent him there, money was his God.
So now you're playing semantics, because earlier on this call, it was said that anybody. So if you worked at McDonald's and you had a black fucking manager at McDonald's, and Burger King offered you $10 more, you would say, "No, I'm gonna stay here with the black manager." Come on, man, we're not talking like that.
That's a different situation.
Now
you're under the presumption. Well, you're under the presumption.
Or not?
We're under the presumption. We're under the presumption that the McDonald's. If you,
do you want to better your reality or not?
I'm going to answer your question, but we have to put it in reality. You're presuming that Deion Sanders is poor. Deion Sanders is not poor.
We're not supposed to be counting that brother's money. That's another problem that niggas do.
No, we're not under the presumption. We're not under the presumption that he's poor.
Pocket watching another man.
We're not under the presumption that he's poor. If you're comparing him to a McDonald's worker, the McDonald's worker is poor. So no, the McDonald's
that's a blanket statement. Not all McDonald's workers are poor. Let's.
If you're talking about a $10 difference in an hourly pay, yes,
not all
he's
McDonald's
poor.
workers are poor.
There's something very important that needs to be clarified. This isn't an issue about whether Deion was right or wrong or anything like that. I'm definitely not, throwing shade at him, and I don't think that the other brother is throwing shade on him. What he's saying is that the impact, he's saying that he may make this decision and it may financially benefit him. But what he's talking about is now you're talking about Deion's benefit versus the system of the HBCU.
The HBCU benefit.
He's not the savior. He did what he had to do there.
Again,
sometimes you go to a job, you complete what you do, and you move on to the next thing.
But we're not talking again.
I see you, brother in the shades. You hear me?
Yeah, but you understand this is not an issue
No,
about
you on some bullshit right now, nigga. Activities.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. But first of all, I can nip
that argument in the bud really quick. There's a different responsibility on us than there is just about everybody else because of the situation that we're in economically. I just said University of Colorado in Boulder. That's not Harvard or Princeton or Yale. They have a $2 billion endowment. Jackson State has a $60 million endowment. In other words, the $47 million that Russell Westbrook is going to make this season playing for the Lakers account for 80% of what that university's endowment is. We are not in the position to be running and taking white folks' money and leaving our systems and our institutions at risk of closing, primarily because the Supreme Court is about to hear and make a decision on affirmative action being used in accepting college
The vacuum cleaner is not sucking up. So I can sit there and vacuum it. It's not bringing the stuff up out the.
So when and Asian people have brought this suit along because Asian people were suing because they're upset that they may qualify academically to get into the Harvards, the Princetons, and the Yales, and not all of them were because those institutions use safe spaces for people who may not qualify academically, but because they want the diversity of thought at their universities and in their classes, they use affirmative action to put people who may not qualify academically, but still are very, fairly good students on the campus. And the Asian community is suing in federal court, Supreme Court, to have that removed. So if that is removed as the law, that means that some of our best and brightest, we may never have another Ketanji Brown Jackson or a Barack Obama, because they may not qualify to get into a Harvard ever again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we actually talked on it. Go ahead.
This was very spirited. Where we at? Y'all got more on this topic?
Well, I do. We cannot forsake our institutions, man. We cannot make everything about a transaction and be money based. Otherwise, we're not going to have.
How much money are all these celebrities and everybody donating to the HBCUs per month? Rappers are talking about spending $50,000 in a bar owned by white folks a night, like they flossing. Ain't nobody giving money to the HBCUs or none of that stuff.
That's why we cannot look at entertainers as people who are intellectual and understand.
How much you got to the HBCUs lately? Any of us on this panel? We ain't been talking about no HBCUs until Deion Sanders he left the job. He quit.
Not me. I tell all of the kids that I coach, whether they're in high school or whether they're coming up, if they're black, that they should go to an HBCU. I tell all of them. I've got kids at TSU. I've got some at Howard and Hampton. I've got a couple at Fisk. A guy that I grew up with comes to California to recruit those kids. I say, hey man, you got to get out here and come talk to these kids and let them know about HBCUs, along with Mr. Alan Rowe, who has I think it's You Can Go to College program. But this has been something that's been powerful to me for about the last 8 years or so, because one day I was watching the Iron Bowl, which is Auburn versus Alabama, and they were number 1 and number 2 in the country at the time. And at the same time, I was watching the Bayou Classic. And everybody in the Iron Bowl, with the exception of the quarterback, was black on the field. And that was the top football teams in the country. And I'm watching the Bayou Classic, and the biggest event that they kept mentioning was the Battle of the Bands at halftime. And I thought, if we got
what I hear, brother Daunte, you're making the case of why we should support HBCUs, but we still talking about one individual, Mr. Deion Sanders, who went from 100,000 a year to 5 million a year to go and do, after he did so much for the HBCUs. That
what did he do?
The attention.
Wait,
everybody's talking about HBCUs. Everybody's talking about HBCUs, and man, reconsidering. Like, all 3 of my children went to college, and 2 of them already graduated. I'm reflecting like that. We probably should have encouraged them to go to an HBCU, because I wasn't so much aware that the importance of going to an HBCU, but because what Deion Sanders is doing, he brought so much attention. Maybe people that got children in high school right now is starting us, man, we need to support. We need to put our children in that direction. So he's done a lot.
Let me paint a picture for you on what was happening. Deion got a job at Jackson State.
Before you do that, before you paint your picture, say what you was about to say.
No, go ahead. Say he about to get a whole origin of HBCUs.
No. Deion got the job at Jackson State. Eddie George, the running back from the Tennessee Titans, I think it's Nashville, Tennessee State. Hugh Jackson, the former NFL coach of the Raiders and the Browns, is at Grambling.
Mm-hmm.
It was happening, and you pull the plug while it's happening. And we can say Deion gave the blueprint.
Yes,
but listen, Deion Sanders is one of maybe like 4 athletes that I could think of that could say, I'm going to a HBCU and change the dynamics of everything. If LeBron James retired today and said he wants to coach at Grambling's basketball team would all of a sudden have ticket sales like they've never had before. If Michael Jordan was to do the same thing at North Carolina A&T.
So you feel like they have to sacrifice their whole career at that black college? Or he did.
No.
He went there for 3 years. He put in some work. Okay, who's next?
That's the important thing. I don't think he's talking about impact. I don't think he's saying that they have to do this. If you should do this, he's saying that look, if you do A, this will have this impact. If you do B, this will have this impact. This impact will have much more impact. Huh?
He did A and B.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Now, yeah, it's again. You understand what I'm saying? There's a difference between him doing something and stop doing something and continue to do something. I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying what he did is wrong, and I don't even know if I think that Daunte is saying that what he did is wrong. I think what he's saying that it had an impact that was negative to HBCUs. Now we're not saying everybody have to be captain HBCU. You know what I'm saying? Captain Saver HBCU, but it's an impact thing. So again, so when Brother DeMad Lowe is sitting there coming at me talking about pocket walking, I'm not watching his pocket. I'm saying that I would have taken the money too, but I'm telling you, by definition, that would have been selling out.
Hey,
it would have been. If you don't need the money, if you said that God put me here and I don't need the bag, I'm already taken care of. I don't need the bag. But then you leave as soon as they offer you money. Well, then what was the difference between you staying and going? The money.
God put him there, and God told him to leave.
Exactly.
God said, get the hell out of there. They breaking into your car, stealing your memorabilia. Get the hell up out of there.
Yeah, but
I think it's one thing we can all agree on in this conversation.
What's that?
We cannot be transactional like that all of the time, gentlemen.
What you mean by that?
Because Deion left primarily because he got a better offer. Okay. And what that is going to lead to is Jackson State is going to go back to where it was. He hadn't built anything.
I don't agree with that.
What you say? Well,
I think he built something. I think it's going to fall apart.
I do not agree with that. I don't think that's
it.
why he left.
It's
always been known. It's been known that Deion Sanders, he has visions and dreams of. God told him he's gonna coach in the NBA. I mean, in the NFL one day. He probably gonna be a coach. He's setting his resume. He cleaned up this school, and now he's going to Colorado State, who was like 1 in 40 in the last 90 years. I don't know, but they got a bad record. He's going to do the same. I think he's changing the culture, and then he eventually.
Whose culture is he changing? Whose culture is he changing? When you leave Jackson,
Mississippi, these bad schools.
You know how many? You know the percentage of black students at the University of Colorado is about 2%.
He's showing. He's setting the blueprint of what to do. Change up. Get your
on how to go tap dance. On how to go tap dance for white folks. On how to go tap dance for white folks. He's showing the blueprint on how to tap dance for white folks. Bring all of these black kids into this university to make the university more money than he's going to get paid.
What did he do for the
Hold on.
Hold on. Was he tap dancing for white folks when he changed culture?
He showing how to tap dance for white folks, how to take black talent, bring it to a majority white university so that the majority white university can reap the benefits of having this black talent and labor at their university.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Hey, hold on.
The football program at the University of Colorado is now going to get infused with money from merchandise sales. They're going to have an increase on price on tickets because Deion Sanders is there. The NCAA portal, transfer portal, they have picked up probably like 4 or 5 stars.
I'm lost.
I'm saying that Deion, the football players are the talent, man. Wherever you have the best.
Wait, slow down, brother, slow down. What did he do for the HBCU?
That's where money goes. I don't care if it's football,
Wait.
basketball, or selling dope. If you have the best product,
Hold
the
on a
money
second.
follows where the product
Just
is.
saying shit, man.
Hold on a second. Let's have some type of order here. So again, Walk, come on back. Come on back. So okay, so the question is, what has he done? He first of all, let's establish this. He did a lot. What he's not doing is continue to do it.
What's a lot?
Well,
What's a lot?
The fact that you even think that it's important for him to be there means that he's having an impact. The fact that this school had so much attention before he went there and is having all this attention after. The fact that they were this degree of successful before him and this degree successful with him. It's undisputable that he had an impact. If he didn't have an impact, we wouldn't be talking about him being there or going there. So he had an impact.
Fair enough. That's okay. Fair. Okay. So how long does it take for a business? How long does it take for a business? How long does it take for a business?
Hold on, Daunte Burke, please, sir.
Go ahead.
Baker asked a question. Wait, what he said? He said he asked you a question. What is translation?
Transactional.
What's the rest of it?
Transactional.
It means that everything that you do is based upon money.
Okay.
I'll give you a quick story. Y'all probably don't know who Sandy Koufax is. He's a pitcher for the Dodgers in the 60s. He's a Jew. The Dodgers made the World Series. I think this is 1962 or 63,
but they
whatever it was. I don't know. The opening game of the World Series fell on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the Jewish Day of Atonement. Sandy Koufax did not dress, even though he was the ace pitcher for the Dodgers. He did not dress and he did not play on Yom Kippur in the World Series because his culture was more important to him than winning the World Series was. Now, he came back and pitched in the other games and they won the World Series, but in his mind, his commitment to his culture and respecting and honoring that Day of Atonement was greater than any baseball game that could have ever been played. That is a small microcosm on how and why Jewish people have been able to be a smaller minority than Black people and continue to build and grow their community, and why we're talking about why Deion Sanders should have stayed at an HBCU to build the institutions. And
to be clear, I ain't saying that. All I said is that, by definition, I think he sold out. But again, I think it has impact. I think that the HBCU system would have been better had he stayed. But again, like I said, he's a grown man. He's an individual. If that's the decision he makes, I think he'll be able to have impact at Colorado and not just making money for Colorado. He'll be able, if he can bring that success to Division I or whatever that, now you're going to have a black face, a black coach really dominating and having an impact, because there's levels of coaching. So there's other places to basically for him to drag Black people to and be an example of Black strength. Because, again, you talk about, Black representation, Black ownership in the NFL, but, it's also an issue of a successful Black coaching. So if he can basically do all these steps and work himself to be the next Black, I hate to say it, the Black Belichick, you know what I'm saying? That'll still be an accomplishment, a Black
he
accomplishment.
would be tap dancing for white folks. It makes no sense if you're the product and 80% of the product is going to play.
In the white NFL, you're absolutely right about
Hold
You're absolutely right about that.
Hold on. Let's we didn't do our shout outs. Let's go give JC the floor. We're gonna take a break from this lively conversation. I'm giving everybody an opportunity. If you're sitting here watching now and you want to come and join this conversation and speak on it, I put the link in the chat. Join the link and speak your piece. But let's Mr. JC, let's take care of our business, brother.
All right, y'all. As always, please like and subscribe and share our podcast. We want to do some shout outs today. The Bread Trucking, Homies Way Car Club, Tunnel Vision, Black August Studios, Ukusu, Wake Up, Clean Up, Stand Up, The Adventures. We want to appreciate y'all tapping into the Focus Up Show, as well as Kilo 2 and Nola J. You can find their music as well as on all music platforms. And as well, y'all can tap into our merchandise and, support us that way too. We appreciate all of that.
Absolutely.
Wait, fellas. I just heard some bad news. I heard Brittney Griner is out.
Oh,
you know how hard it's gonna be for me trying to get some pussy now that she's out. Y'all heard that she's home.
Yeah, she gonna slow down your play, huh?
Yeah.
That's more competition. You know how hard it is for a short, dark-skinned nigga to get women, and now her tall, good-looking, light-skinned self gonna be out with these. I ain't with it.
Especially when she like Miss Pac-Man.
Nah, especially considering what she was who she was traded for. Joe Biden was in a messed up position, man. But if I'm Joe Biden, Brittney probably gonna have to stay in the prison for like a year or two.
Whoa! What the heck? Are you crazy?
Hey, man.
Imagine if you was Brittney Griner family and said something like that. You think they give a damn about that old dude, Lord of War? What's that, Lord of War? The movie that was based on?
The Merchant of Death. That was his nickname, the Merchant of Death.
And how many years ago was that? Come on, bro.
He was sentenced to 25 years. He did 11 of them or 12 of them.
He had 9 years left, just like she had 9 years left.
Right.
Yeah. Come on now.
Walk it off.
It ain't like he about to get back in the game like, yo, I'm back on the market.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he?
Well, again, look, it's a bad trade. I told you that before. To me, this is Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown. But the fact of the matter is, the Memphis Grizzlies got something out of that. They wanted to get that cap clear, and the reality is what Biden wanted to get was Griner home. And the fact of the matter is, having this white dude sitting in a jail for one more year, I mean, what benefit really would I consider? What value would I place for that? Because he's going to get out. It's not like, right. This is gonna be capital punishment. So I value her being free here much more than I value that dude being in jail one more year here. So I mean that's
well. Here's the thing. People are acting like Brittney Griner didn't know that you can't have any cannabis products go through an airport, whether it was domestically or internationally. Like that's she was a 31-year-old woman who has traveled the world, well traveled. If you know that you are not supposed to have cannabis on your persons at an airport in America, what in the hell would make you think that it's a good idea to have it on your person in Russia?
No, she was hella in the wrong, hella negligent. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they gave her 10 years, I mean, that was just political BS. Hey,
you in a different country. They got different rules.
Wait, hold on. She had less than a gram. It was actually residue from the canisters that she had.
You, sir, are going by.
Wait, come on, brother. Come on. You speaking? We all talking here. Let me say because we did a whole show on this already. I'm still a little shaken up that she got released too. Come on, man. But listen, she had less than a gram of it was cannabis residue. So basically, it was empty canister, but the little that was in there. They singled her out. She done did that before, in and out through this country. She was playing for the team for a few months. They singled her out due to the war and as leverage over the war. It was all political. So come on now, if you home and
did she have cannabis on her persons?
She did not.
She had residue in the canister.
Come on, bro.
Okay, it's a different country.
She acknowledged that it was a mistake. I mean, you are using
American standards. Do you know that if you go to Indonesia and you're not married and you have sex, that's a crime, and you could be arrested and thrown in prison for a year?
Spit on the ground some places. Spit on the ground some places. That's
right. So you gotta operate by their laws. This ain't America. You can't go by the standard in America in Russia because you ain't in America. You in Russia.
It's a sovereign.
It was empty canisters, dude.
Wait,
it was
the
residue.
All I know is I'm glad that she's home. I don't give a damn about
like I said, I place more value
because America got their own warlords that are free and trading guns and all that shit. as we speak. So he's not somebody that, oh, we need to keep him in jail so we can stay safe. The hell with that motherfucker. He gone. Get his ass out of here. Bring her on.
He sold guns. He sold guns and weapons to Al Qaeda. He sold guns and weapons to the Taliban.
Who hasn't sold guns and weapons? America does it all the time. America sells guns and everything to everybody.
Iran-Contra.
The CIA.
Iran-Contra scandal.
America gives it to everybody.
Right. So
Ronald Reagan
is okay. Now you're talking about a president of a country. You would trade a head of state for a basketball player because she can dunk.
If that's my family, that's my sister.
Hey, look, check this out. I've always said this. I'm not gonna hurt myself one little bit just to hurt somebody else. I always place the value on me. You know what I'm saying? If someone pisses me off, I'm not gonna go to jail just because I want to feel good about doing something bad to them. So I'm gonna evaluate. I'm gonna evaluate in what I hold value on. And I'm just saying that I value her being here much more important than this dude being in a cell for a whole nother year.
I agree.
I just don't place the value. But again, I agree. It was a jacked up trade. I'm sure that Putin is duck walking and goosenecking all about it. I know Fox News is going crazy saying how Biden traded a freaking arms dealer for a basketball player. I understand all of this stuff is going on, but the reality is I'd rather have my person here, period. That's it.
Brittney Griner, if you're watching the show, if you just so happen to be watching the show, Brittney Griner, we invite you to come to the show. Tell us about what happened in Russia. We would love to have you on the show, just in case you're watching.
And please share the show too.
I'll say that this shows how important it is to obey the laws of the land wherever you are at, because
that's a fact.
We have to put
I agree with
ourselves in the position of trading an international arms dealer for a basketball player because she could not stay off the weed while entering into an airport.
Okay, I'm glad.
Again, she made a mistake. She acknowledged that she made a mistake, and again, like I said, she exposed herself. She made the mistake. Personally, with all the stuff that was going on with Ukraine and Russia, my ass wouldn't have been over there in the first place. But again, that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, again, to me, what is of value to me? The Grizzlies got something out of it. You know, black people, we traded a black person for a white person. That's a win every time for me.
Amen. Now, get back to the regular topic. Let's get back to the show.
All right, y'all.
Hey, y'all done ran off the mad low. He done confused me more than Walk about talking about things that I said. I want to hear some more angry rebuttals. I repeat, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't associate America or use the pronoun we. I don't do none of that stuff. But I do understand and acknowledge that these people have a position. Those people have a position. So when Walk asked the question, I was explaining to him why the other people that this position had value. That's it. I don't have a dog in that race.
All right.
I think I heard.
Yeah, Mr. JC.
Facts. So we're gonna keep it pushing, y'all. Should all medical treatment be free?
Hell yeah. Everybody, you get free medication. You get free medication. Everybody get free medication. Look, the bottom line is fundamentally, I think that everybody should have the basic things. You're talking about shelter. You're talking about food. You're talking about clothing. You're talking about Medicare, science, all this stuff, this basic stuff. We should all have the basic stuff just because the world would be better if we all have it.
You sound like a socialist.
I'm absolutely a socialist, unapologetically a socialist. Again, don't nobody complain about when someone's breaking into your mama's house and they call the police. You know, that's a socialist. If you're not paying pay-per-view for the police or for the fireman or whatever, this is a mixed economy here. It's not a capitalist economy. In a third world nation, maybe you have a true capitalist economy where it's just strictly money. But here, there's certain things that they still fundamentally provide you that's just a byproduct of taxes, not something that you pay on a per-use basis. That's socialism. And again, I agree that when it comes to those fundamental things, everybody should have that. I think that everybody owns all of the world, not just a little piece of the world, all of the world, so that we should function in that way. However, You do need to work for the extra stuff. You do need to have incentive. You know, you need to have passion. Just motivating a person by money, you know what I'm saying? That's not going to be enough to get them to do anything.
Who defines the extra? You saying everything should be free, but the extra, where's that mark? Who puts that mark?
That extra is that fancy whip. You know what I'm saying? That extra is that Xbox.
I thought you meant along the lines of medical. I thought you meant along the lines of medical or medication.
No. Again, I think all of that shit. Well, if you want to go change yourself like trans or something like that, then probably that's probably something that you should pay for if the individual, whatever. I mean, the government probably.
I don't think it should be free, and here's my reasoning why it should not be free. It should be most of it should be free. And like, that's why I'm hitting that mark, because let's say if you just go to the doctor, say, you know what? Hey, I need an MRI. It got to be, okay, it's going to cost some money to get an MRI. You need this. If you need it, it got to be of high importance. If everything's free, people going to be doing something for nothing. Oh, I need some more Prozacs or something. And it's free. They're just going to go buy some or get it free. So you got to put a price on it to keep those who really don't need it from getting it.
Or restrictions. You just say, hey, you don't get it if you don't need it.
Wait, but who's to say you don't need it? Like, wait. See, that argument could go all day. Like, wait, let's not drift to the socialist argument right now with that. Just totally, because we're going to do a whole show on that. But as far as with the medical, it's very tough to determine, in my opinion, whether it should be free or not. Because right now, I'm actually in school and like, for pharmacy tech, and the whole industry is just like $1 billion industry. Like we was doing a mock of just a prescription, and then you got to print it out and how much it costs. Like, I had no idea how much for simple pills, dude. $650 for some medication for like if you have cancer and stuff like that. I'm talking about for 30 freaking pills. This stuff is a ridiculous amount, and you damn sure can't afford it if you're paying out of pocket. If you got insurance. So whether it should be free or not, I'm kind of on the fence, because
he's on
the fence.
I'm kind of. Wait, listen, come on. I'm kind of on the fence, because you got to look at it from two sides. Either you're the patient, where you can't afford it. Come on, man. Either you're a patient and you can't afford it, or you're that medical facility that's have to pay these prices to get that medication, from where you're getting it from, and then you got to dish it out to the patient from what they paid to what they getting back. So it's kind of iffy, but it's a $1 billion industry, and guess who are suffering is the poor people, as usual.
All right, Mr. Daunte, where you at with it, brother?
All this shit need to be free.
Everything should be free.
The reason why that medication costs $650 is because whatever pharmaceutical company that's responsible for manufacturing that drug has to pay their executives about 70% of that $650 per bottle. The overwhelming majority of profit that these pharmaceutical companies make, and this has been proven time and time again with several congressional hearings on pharmaceuticals and how and why we're trying to as a government purchase them in larger quantities. Pharmaceutical companies bend over the public, they bend over the government and take advantage of it.
Price gouging.
And as long as that happens, we're never going to have free healthcare for Americans, because the pharmaceutical companies who the wealthy people have invested in would have to reduce their prices like they do with just about every other country in the world. We are the money pot for the pharmaceutical industry. That's why we don't have free healthcare. Cuba has it, but we don't. Germany has it, but we don't. All of these developed nations have it, but we don't. Why? Because they make their money here. And this is, again, why you can't always be transactional.
Okay. And another reason why medication is so high is because you got people like Skrelly or whatever his name was, the one that
Martin Shkreli.
Yeah,
The
Martin
dude
Shkreli.
about the Wu-Tang album. The dude about the Wu-Tang album.
Yeah.
Right.
Right there.
What he got, like 6-7 years?
Whatever.
He
it
out
was,
now.
he took a pill that went. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like $30. He raised it up to like hundreds of dollars for a pill or something like that.
Right.
That right there. That type of stuff. This is the reason why. But I
Price
feel like,
gouging.
yes, sir. I
It's
feel like
the
this.
American way.
Basic medical needs and necessities should be free. All the the elective stuff,
Yes.
you have to pay for.
Cosmetic surgery and stuff like that. That's something different.
Yeah, last I checked, Canada, healthcare, but at the same time, it should be policed. You know what I mean? Like medicine, yeah, it should be free, but at the same time, you gotta have something put in place because you're gonna have dope fiends coming back and forth trying to get high. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it should be to a certain extent.
No, you have to have a physician prescribe you medication in order to get it, and there's limits on it even if you pay for it. You can't just go pick up some Oxycontin because you ran out of it in 2 weeks if you had a 30-day supply. So that parameter is already set in there. The primary issue is that in the budget of the United States, nothing comes before the defense budget. So if you wanted to have free healthcare is going to probably cost 2 or 3 times more than what we spend on our military and defense. So where's that money going to come from? Who wants to pay more taxes?
That's the truth.
All right, so we all agree that we are all socialists here, and we all want medication to be free.
Well,
I would pay more in taxes without a complaint if it meant that everyone had access to see a doctor if and when they wanted to and or needed to.
Yeah,
right.
And I want to stress that when I say free, I just mean that you're not paying necessarily out of your pocket. They're individuals, but I mean all these people. They'll be compensated. If you go to school and do all this other stuff, I mean you need to be compensated properly. Hey, the Mad Loc is back. I'm gonna stop. This is what I want to hear. Tell me what I did wrong, brother. Tell me what I did wrong. I need to know.
Who's talking? Who's talking?
That's Mr. Nice Guy.
Let's see which one. Raise your hand.
That's me. I'm saying that. I said, tell me what I did wrong, brother. I want to know, man. Just let me know.
No, it was that other dude. It was the other one.
I know.
No, you good. You know what? What kind of, I'm not going to say irked me, but what made me take notice of you is you were the one that was talking about defining the term of sellout in the space that we're in, right? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, exactly.
This is the black space, correct?
Oh, are you talking about this show? Or are you talking about, everything I operate is in a black space because I'm black.
This show right here.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the black space. So culturally, when we talk about sellouts in a black space, according to our culture, then we know exactly what we're talking about. Would you agree with that?
No. Because again, I think the term is flawed. If it's selling out our people, the question is, what are you selling them out for? I'm just saying that again, that's why I said I distinguish. I said I'm not calling Deion a sellout. I'm saying that by definition, I said I don't understand it because if you're saying if it's about the money, if selling out is literally just basically objectively meaning that someone gives you more money to betray this other thing. That sounds like the definition of a sellout, but to me, that's not the definition of wrong. Go ahead.
I digress. I respect that. I was just saying that in this space that we're in, normally, but I can't make a blanket statement. Normally, when we're talking amongst our own peers, when we talk about sellout, we're talking about that little kid that turned Nat Turner in. That type of thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's a distinguished, and of course, that's never right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I gave the example. If it's a function of like all these people are going to get killed, but I'm going to let you pass, are you going to give these people up? I mean, to me, that's selling out. Because I'm like, we got to share that
problems, bro. I don't want no problems.
Taking white folks $5 million and leaving the HBCUs high and dry when they're in need of
you pocket watching,
that
brother.
That's selling out. That's selling watching. Out. It's not pocket watching, but if you want to call it that, so be it. I know
I'm going to call it that.
We are every time. And as a community, whether it's individually or collectively,
then
or in the
you should donate half of your salary to the HBCU.
We are. Hey, if I was in a position to
no, so you pocket watching. You don't assume me in that position, brother.
He is. He said it. I'm not presuming. He said it.
Stop pocket watching.
Taking his words.
I put a link in the chat that you should watch about pocket watching.
The man said it himself that
I put a link in the chat room that you should watch about pocket watching, brother.
The man said it himself.
Again, I said I put a link in the chat room that you should watch about pocket watching, brother.
I'm gonna take the man at his word. I'm gonna
take to go look at that, brother. Cause I can't be concerned with Brother Floyd's making, cause I don't know his reality, brother.
If Brother Floyd told you what his reality was,
that's all it is. And you using deceptive intelligence to try to justify your pocket watching, bro.
Hey, you know what?
But it's good. You know what? It's good. I'm not going to tell you how much I make because you might think I'm richer than what I am. And I got to go and buy everybody something because I might have a nice car. I don't know, brother.
Let me try to take some order.
All praises due to Allah, and I hope you are well in your pocket watching this.
You know what?
You should tell you that
that's all I'm going to say, bro.
Hold on.
Dante, you should accept his definition because again, the same struggle that I have with the term.
No.
Listen, hear what I'm about to say. Hear what I say. The same reason I struggle with the sellout thing is I'm saying that by definition, it's pocket watching because we're talking about, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not disputing the impact issue. To me, that's an objective reality. None of us could dispute that. He's going to have an impact on the HBCU system when he leaves. He had an impact when he's there. I mean, he's technically still here, but you know what I'm saying? He's going to have an impact, and that impact is going to be real. That's going to be an institution that's run by Black people. We always talk about Black people need to get our own things. Well, some of our own things are going to take a hit. That's a fact. But again, I mean,
10 years after Jackie Robinson leaves the Negro Leagues, there's no more Negro Leagues. Ever since then, we're the talent, and we're playing on white folks. That whole white folks ice is colder. We're the best basketball players, but Hampton don't have the best basketball team. University of Kentucky, Kansas, all of those blue blood programs that never recruited white boys until Texas Wesleyan won the national championship with started 5 Black players. Then all of a sudden they start to recruit the basketball players. Same thing done with football. All of our talent has left home.
Hey man, you guys are laughing, but he's making a really good point about the fact you can't complain about how Black people don't run the NFL when you ran to the white people's sports division.
I would say
because they thought that the ice was colder. Is football any different at Alabama than it was at Jackson State? Is it a different? Are there different rules? What's different
competition? It's different competition. I mean, that's
different competition because who is there? Remove the Black kids from the university. Remove every Black player from the top 25 football programs and replace them with white players.
I'm still waiting for you to donate half your salary.
Yeah, you know what? Money is power. So I always say that I believe I'm not a capitalist, I'm a socialist, but money is power. So I always tell people this. Make as much money as you can, because you can do something with that money.
Until you donate, all you're doing is talking, bro.
Now, why is it that the Arabs can educate their own, the Catholics, the Mormons, the Jews, all educate their own?
Because they have
if you are a Catholic, you never have to go to any other type of school but a Catholic.
We need the drop squad
for your entire educational career. You can go from preschool and end with your master's degree and never have gone to another class, another school that wasn't Catholic based. We have the top level of education and our universities, they're extremely underfunded. They're looked at as being inferior products from an academic level and an athletic level. And we have the opportunity to change that, but we don't.
Whose fault is that?
Ours.
It's the HBCU's fault. They got to do
people like
business.
Deion. It's people like Deion Sanders.
Look.
And that's why you need to put your resources towards that.
People like Deion Sanders that leave the black community and go do the same thing they were doing at a black college for a white college that makes the white college way more money.
It's the people like the president of them HBCUs. They need to figure out how to make those more appealing, and with the resources they got. That's how most people do it.
If you, but Floyd, if you leave,
the bootstrap.
Hey Floyd, Floyd. There's a difference between whether it be a better situation or whether these people are. It's not talking about who's people's responsible for this, that, and the other. The fact of the matter is, should black people be more in control of black things? You believe in black grocery stores?
Yes.
You believe in black education? You
Yes.
believe in black business and stuff like that?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So that black people would be better off if black people dominated black things.
Yes,
Fundamentally, what he's saying is we're dominating white things.
We don't have many avenues to create that kind of revenue. So we got to use what we do well. We're really good at football and basketball. So that means that we should be able to generate hundreds of millions of dollars because we're the best to our universities. Like I said, we're the only people in this country that do not have our own. We can't go to a majority black elementary school that's like a private elementary school like Catholics, Jews, or Christians could do.
That's not Deion Sanders' fault.
Because we don't invest in ourselves. We will go to
fault. You keep talking about fault.
He invested for 3 years. He invested for 3 years.
Man, Deion Sanders is just one man. He's not the savior of the HBCU.
I think everybody's confusing this. It's not his fault. It's not his responsibility. However, HBCUs be better off if he did. That's it. It's not an issue of whether it's his responsibility or it's his fault.
Right. Y'all are confusing that a man can make his individual choice in comparison to a man's commitment to his community. So you can marry who you want as a black man, but you can't sit here and talk about being pro-black and doing black shit and have Becky on your shoulder and be respected.
What you got to say about that, Walk?
You know what I'm gonna say.
You can't talk black and speak and sleep white and be respected. Malcolm X would not be revered as he is if he had a Jennifer on his side and not Sister Betty. Same with Dr. King if he had a white woman and not Coretta.
And that's what Tupac said about Madonna.
Yeah, but I think that's taken out of context, though. It's way out of context.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
It is not. Yeah. Where do you think Deion that money is going? Where is the money that Deion is generating going to go to? Is it going to go to a black? Is it going to go to something that that progresses black culture? No.
Let me ask you this. He's going to make $5 million a year. If he donated $1 million a year to Jackson State, would that make him put him back in your good grace?
No.
Why not?
Because his presence is worth way more than $1 million at Jackson State.
Okay.
That's a legitimate response.
I agree with that.
Well, that man is leaving, and that's it. Money. He's making his money. I ain't hating on the man. The man making it.
Hey, man, we're gonna say that until there's no black community.
If the opportunity presented itself to you, would you take it?
Yes.
If the opportunity presented itself to me, and I'm already wealthy, and money is not an issue.
I don't know how wealthy.
I
don't know how wealthy the man is.
If I was in that position to have,
I'm saying that Deion Sanders said himself, it was not about the bag, and if he donated half of his salary, and it was like $300,000. Okay, if he needed the money, he wouldn't have donated it. Correct?
That brother said it was only like 300 grand.
Well, no. But he also needed to do that. He needed, in order for him
it
to
was
get
only like 300.
Wait, this was
Like
sort
I
of like
said,
him going. This was like him going to college because he had to do this to get the qualifications. In order to be a coach at this other level, he had to at least be an assistant coach. And he was like, "I'm not trying to be no assistant coach." So
No. In order for him to be a head coach, he had to get a degree, and an HBCU in Florida gave him the degree.
So this is like, so him taking this less money or whatever, this is like going to college. You pay money to go to college to be qualified for something to make more. So I
No,
can't
sir, he had no resume to be he was a high school coach.
Now he does. Now that he went to Jackson State for 3 years, now he has the resume to do it. So
correct.
The fact that he made however much money before, that was how much money he had to sacrifice in order to get this other job. So I can't make the argument that, obviously he was doing fine if he could work off of 300. If he was going to school, you have to do what you do have to qualify to make more money down the lane. So that logic, that argument don't hold up.
No, he gave half of his salary to the football program.
No, I'm just talking about the fact that he had to take that job. He had to take that job to get a better job, right?
We're gonna put a cap on it.
But hold on, wait. Here's my point of distinction. It's because you think that working at the white folks university is a better job than working with your own people?
I don't, but he did.
Brother Floyd.
That's why he sold out. That's why he didn't sell out.
All right, hold on.
And I love Deion, but he sold out, man.
Go ahead.
See, that's the problem. We as the people, when we feel that somebody is well off and they got it, then you want free services. You want the sacrifices. Oh, he got it. He's well off. He can do this for free. The world don't work like that, bro.
Tell the Jews
it don't work like that, damn it.
Tell the Jews. Because the Jews, if you need to borrow money from the Jews, they will not charge you interest. Tell the Jews that.
They won't charge you.
You're all over the place. Are we talking about Deion Sanders? Are we talking about the Jews?
You just said
talking about black education. You all over the place, brother. Focus, brother. This show is called Focus Up. Focus, bro.
Tell the Jews that. Tell the Jews who do not charge each other interest. Tell them.
And I'm still waiting for you to donate some money.
Tell them that. Tell them that's not how the world works.
Hey, we're going to cap this, but hey, I'm going to say this about Daunte. Daunte's point is this real. We can't complain about black people not owning the NFL or controlling the NFL or being the faces behind the NFL if we run into their white NFL. So if he's saying that, look, we need to have our own black stuff that we black control, we be in a better black position. That's just a fact. So we can argue about all this other stuff about what Deion, whatever. It was not his responsibility. We don't need him to be Captain Saver, bro. He's doing what he's doing, and he can still have a positive, great impact for black people doing what he's doing now and what he'll do in the future. But HBCUs will suffer.
All right, so we're gonna let's cap it there. That was the last statement. Or thanks for hold on. We appreciate
Shannon Sharp, in my car, boy.
We appreciate everybody that stuck with us. We did a 2-hour special today because we knew that this was going to be a heated debate, and so we did a 2 hours. Thank y'all that's still watching and participated on the show. We appreciate y'all.
Wait, let me say one more thing. Today's the 4-year anniversary. Our mother passed. Jean Johnson, rest in peace to my mama. You see her picture on the wall if you can zoom in. It's been 4 years. Rest in peace to my mama. All my brothers, my sisters. Good. Indeed.
Yep. Mr.
Good show, fellas. Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up, y'all. Like always, we appreciate y'all. Tap Focus Up Show. Please like, subscribe, and share the podcast. And as well, visit our merchandise, support us that way too. We appreciate all that. And to all the viewers out there leaving messages at the bottom, comments, we appreciate all that too. For me, Mr. X, El Pooh, Mr. Walt, Sky, Mr. Daunte, appreciate y'all visiting. Mr. Madlow.
Yep.
Focus up, y'all.
Thanks to our guests. Thank y'all for joining the show.
Hey, thank you, brothers. Nothing but love and respect.
Always.
All right. So everybody, thank y'all for joining the show. We out.